Well, there's very little that reminds us of what used to be. Blockbusters are gone. Hollywood videos gone. Do you really own anything? That's one part of today's question. But at the same time, we do have a flashback. The presidential youth fitness test is back. And it's back with a little bit of excitement.
Ooh.
And the Democrats are not very happy. Because you see, the presidential fitness test has been around for a long time. During the Obama administration, Obama worked to basically took away the presidential fitness test, which is kind of funny because his wife, was so hardcore about health and fitness.
Oh, Mike Obama.
But what the Obama administration said was, instead of focusing on these requirements, what we're going to do instead is we're just going to work towards personal improvement. Well, what did that get us? We have a collection of youth that are overweight, stuck on screens, unprepared, not mentally fit, not physically fit, and sure as heck not emotionally fit.
Not mentally resilient or physically resilient either.
No resilience at all. In fact, it becomes fearful of what would happen if we get into a world war.
Oh, yeah, no. Old, crunchy veterans like me that are all hurt and broken are probably more efficient and more effective. Just walking around with limps and stuff and being all messed up would be way more efficient and probably more practical. Then again, that's only if they're not using all the technology stuff, the beep, bop, booping, the beep, bop, boop, drone, blah, 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 once the power's out. I don't know. I'm kind of on that mode. Like, if you're not useful if the power's out, you're probably not really that useful. If that makes sense, what I'm trying to articulate in that fashion, because technology's not even going to be there. You remember the 90s? There was rolling blackouts and stuff in like the 80s and the 90s, and the power grid wasn't enough for populations. And now we got like electric everything, scooters, bicycles, cars, every power tool charged by a battery and just electric. So, I mean, eventually AI uses a lot of electricity. Power a bunch of the mining stuff for cryptocurrencies and computers and blah, blah, blah. Everything plugs in on the grid and uses electricity. So I keep waiting for the rolling blackouts and not enough juice.
So here's the advertisement from 1968 on the Presidential Fitness Award.
Right.
Kids are in school for 12 years, but most of them will never make a team. Now there's a new kind of team at school, the President's All-American team. And everybody's got the same chance to make it. Big guys have no advantage over little guys. Boys have no advantage over girls. This is a test of all-around ability,
Is that equality?
not how good you are in one sport. Kids have to run, jump, sit up, pull up, and throw a softball. Last year, 50,000 kids made the President's All-American team. Tryouts are starting again in schools all over the country. What can you do to help? Can your students make the President's All-America team? They'll never know unless they try out.
Do they make the cut?
The fact that only 50,000 kids made it, I mean, that's incredible. Like,
And that was in the 60s, right?
that was 1968. Like, let's get the top of the top caliber athletes, kids that care about fitness. Let's honor them. 50,000.
That'd probably be a good pro sports, like everything, hockey to freaking football, like scouting method right there. Just being like, here's the guys and the gals that made all the top whatever with the presidential fitness test and doing all this array of everything.
So here's it's kind of interesting. At the time, this was 1987. 1987, the requirements. 15, 16, and 17-year-olds all had to be under 620 in the mile. In fact, 17-year-olds had to be under 606 in the mile.
Okay.
It's a pretty high standard.
Yeah.
Not even close to what the present military standard is.
Right.
Pull-ups, 13.
Okay.
Shuttle run, 8.7 seconds. Curl-ups, 55. Obviously, they don't have push-ups listed on this document. But a 620 is still pretty fast. Now, Fast forward to 2025, 6 minutes is not a tough tough mile for most of these high school kids anymore. We've come so far. In fact, I bet money on it. There's probably 50,000 kids that are under 5 in the mile across the United States. Probably more than that.
Yeah, and what's an Olympian's like mile? Isn't it like 2 minutes, 3 minutes, or something crazy?
No, it's still
fours.
Well, it's
Fives?
under 4. Let's see, what's the world record for the mile?
I don't know. I'm kind of curious.
3:43.
3:43. Okay, because I thought it was threes. I was like, it can't be fours anymore.
Yeah, I mean, let's see, how many high schoolers are under 5?
Probably a lot.
So Braves AI says approximately 23,000 high school boys in the United States break the 5-minute mile barrier annually.
Oh, okay. See?
Yep.
Top peak physical performance. Body's not all broken up. Joints aren't destroyed. They should be able to, you'd think. Back ain't hurting. Neck's still good. Like, you better be able to do it. That's how I look at it. The body's fresh.
I think if they were looking at 85 percentile, the girls' numbers would definitely change. I mean, you look at 17-year-old, their mile time back in 1987, 8:15.
Okay.
That's going to be drastically different. I mean,
Got to be sixes, man.
let's see, how many high school girls under 6 in the mile?
Sounds
It's gonna be huge.
What all's the new standard though with the new presidential fitness stuff? Is it different? How much has it changed? Does it have like real requirements? Is it good for sports stuff or what?
I scrolled through the internet, tried to look. I did not find anything. The links from the one government website was broken, so it didn't actually go to anywhere.
Imagine that, something from the establishment being broke, right? Not functioning properly.
The White House,
taxpayer money at work.
The White House didn't quite. Yeah, it didn't really say what the new requirements were going to be. So obviously, I think we're going to see the requirements here pretty soon. But I think it's really cool that we've brought back the presidential fitness tests and that we're bringing back this idea of fitness. I mean, what we had for so long under the Obama administration and the Democrat-controlled Biden administration. Notice how I didn't say the Biden administration. It's Democrat-controlled Biden administration because who knows who was actually leading. But even during the Bush era, there wasn't a big push for fitness in this country, for health.
Yeah. No, that's true. It just seemed like a big fast food convenience, get fat, be dumb, kind of push of things of like, don't worry about it. Don't think. Don't be physically fit. Don't be mentally fit. Just get your McDonald's and move on with your day. By the way, if McDonald's wants to sponsor, they can. I don't mind that.
Imagine if you had to pass a fitness test to actually get your degree.
Imagine if you had to pass a fitness test to do anything. I'm not promoting it because I don't like a lot more rules and stuff to a point. Because part of this fitness stuff, I'm like, I don't like a lot of government involvement. But at the same time, with the modern era of all the like interwebs, beep, bop, booping, I mean, it's not video games from the 70s, 80s, 90s, and even early 2000s now. It's just straight screens, cell phones, tablets, all this nonsense. Everything's on all the time. Instagrams, face pages, Twitter, X, whatever it is, and all this other nonsense and Instagram crackers. Just a bunch of garbage and crap, So, yeah, it's probably good to have it. You kind of think the schools would have it with all their physical fitness and sports programs they're probably wanting to keep funding for. But so part of me is like, okay, cool. Part of me don't like it because it's like government involvement, and I don't like too much system, and we all know that. But I'm happy at least they're trying to be like, hey, you guys go out and be physically fit. You need to be able to fight off a physically fit. You might have to fight off a problem or one day or defend yourself or at least run away from it. They got, how fast can you run a mile, right? Some meth head come up to you. They ain't going to beat you 5 minutes in a mile, is they?
So the fact sheet from the White House says that the purpose of this, maintaining a strong and vital America, gives a couple bullet points. I think this is awesome. Rates of obesity, chronic disease, inactivity, and poor nutrition are at a crisis level, particularly amongst our children. These trends weaken our economy, military readiness, academic performance, and national morale. President Eisenhower recognized this issue when he created the President's Council on Youth Fitness in response to reports on the poor state of youth fitness in America. President Trump is creating a national culture of strength, vitality, and excellence for the next generation by promoting the physical, mental, and civic benefits of exercise and good nutrition. In 2018, President Trump originally revitalized the council, renaming it the President's Council on Sports, Fitness, and Nutrition. In 2019, Trump administration launched the National Youth Sports Strategy to unify U.S. youth sports culture around a shared vision that one day all youth will have the opportunity, motivation, and access to play sports. In May 2025, President Trump proclaimed May 2025 as National Physical Fitness and Sports Month. Over the next 3 years, America will host the Ryder Cup, the President's Cup, the FIFA World Cup, and the Olympic Games, the world's premier sporting competition. In 2026, we will celebrate the 250th anniversary of our great nation, honor the 70th anniversary of the original President's Council on Youth Fitness, and showcase America's continued global dominance in sports, including potentially UFC on the White House grounds. That was not on the fact sheet, but that is what has been announced.
Ooh, were they going to put a big octagon out right there in the what is it, the presidential lawn or whatever they call it?
I don't know, but I could tell you.
Could you imagine that?
So
he's all watching from that, that balcony they always show him on. He's all watching UFC from the balcony there.
Yeah.
You're like, man, I'd watch.
President Trump has long been a fan of Dana White, and Dana White long been a fan of Donald Trump, and both very, very involved. See Trump at most of the UFC events, at least the UFC pay-per-view events, and the crowds love him. And so when Dana White announced that, and President Trump said, we want UFC on the grounds of the White House, Dana said, okay, and they're working on it.
Is UFC an Olympic sport yet or no?
No, it never will be.
What? Why not? It's just...
Because you can't fight back-to-back. Because the damage is so extensive that you would not be cleared. Most of these guys would not be cleared for a medical.
Old school UFC was like that, though. You know that, right? The original UFC.
But it didn't last long, and it didn't last long for that reason.
The original ones were like that, That's like the Ken Shamrock and Don Fry. Don Fry was a monster, dude.
And that's why, you see boxing's way different in the Olympics than it is, in the title fights. And things
modern
like that.
Boxing's way different now. Did you see? They don't even, there's not a lot of footwork bouncing around stuff. It's a lot of, stand there and it's weird. It doesn't seem as exciting either. It's honestly
martial arts in the Olympics is way different than UFC.
It's just points and stuff. Well, I was just saying, if UFC was like that, and they're like, look, you got 30 seconds, you got a minute. That's it. You got a minute to fight some dude, going all out. None of this backing up stuff. Just go, and they're gonna go to the next one and the next one, and everybody's fighting the whole time. Two, like old school UFC. Then get down to the end because everybody's getting battered and bruised and tired and worn out and fatigued. Match to match to match to match. I think it'd be kind of sick.
Yeah, I think you have an issue because I don't know as though anybody would really want to certify that competition. But then again, you look at it, right? We brought back bare knuckle boxing in certain locales.
Those guys, this stuff.
Yes,
where they're like,
and so bare knuckle boxing is back. We have slap, the introduction of slap that was permitted in Las Vegas and Nevada. But majority of these guys, if you watched UFC on Saturday, some of those guys were so beat up. There were some brawls on Saturday. It was not a whole lot of jiu-jitsu like some weeks. There was a whole lot of brawls in the main card. And you look at those guys, it's like, okay, there's no way that anybody's going to clear you to fight in the next 6 months, in the next 4 months.
Yeah, he's got to heal up.
It doesn't happen. Yeah. They won't survive the
Those
medicals.
are longer matches, too. Well, they're scheduled to be longer matches.
They were 15. Yeah. They all went the distance. It was other than the main event. Park got dominated.
Well, I think the presidential physical fitness thing's probably a good thing overall, and it might help promote stuff. RFK Jr. is probably all on board with all that stuff, too, I'm assuming.
Oh, RFK is 100% on board, and I think that's kind of what's pushing this. Really, at the end of the day, though, it's like when you go back to a conversation on fitness, every time somebody talks about abs, right, they want a six-pack, kids want six-packs. I'm like, dude, it happens in the kitchen.
Yeah.
It happens in the kitchen.
Well, they want it without the effort or work, too.
And so we still need to talk about what we're doing to clean up our food supply, clean up our food source, have healthy options, and also have options that aren't full of preservatives that are just causing us to continue to gain weight and be unhealthy. Part of it's bring back chess, bring back backgammon.
Well,
Bring back games that
not just
require
that.
you to think and strategize. So
I
half
think
the games that we play as a family that are like currently out or the new ones are coming out, I'm like, what kind of? There's no strategy in this. It's luck. I'm like, where's the strategy games? Like, I want to
well,
play a game that
I kinda
requires
like,
me to think.
what is it, the 20 questions thing on the machine where it's like a thing and you got to kind of guess stuff because it gets your old brain turning. Those ones are kind of fun, the guessing games. And some
But
of
those
those
aren't popular right now. And the games that are coming out right now are a whole lot less strategy and a whole lot more luck based. Like that's what the board games are. And it's like, when are you going to force kids to start using their brains?
You think it's a way to get rid of that entrepreneurial mindset or that self-made building mindset? Because you know what I mean? Oh, everything's just luck and chance is like a crappy mindset for like living life. But if you're like one of those people like I am where you're like, everything good and bad that happens to me is my own fault. It is mine to hold and bear. Those are my burdens. Everything good, everything bad. It is my fault. I have to carry that regardless. Outside sources or whatever.
So it's like I asked some kids, my son and his kids, I'm like, hey,
Yeah.
help me build this furniture, XYZ.
Yeah.
And I got back and I was like, what the heck did you guys do? And they had spent 4 hours on it. It was like this giant dog kennel, right? I'm like, what the heck? I take the whole thing apart, put it back together in about 30 minutes.
Yeah, and
correctly.
I'm not trying to bash you, but you're not the most mechanically inclined person I've
No,
been around by any means.
I am better than
I'm
90% of
very,
Americans.
very polite. You are not
Jim
mechanically
is very mechanically inclined. I am not.
Yeah.
But I am way more more mechanically inclined
In
than
the modern
most.
era,
Yes.
you would be considered mechanically inclined compared to the average, though. Be like, what? And be like, I know what tools are.
Yes.
You're like, oh, good. You're better than 90% of the people. It's like working out or getting in shape. You're already like just doing it. You're already better than like 95% of the population nowadays. Where you're like, no, just moving a weight or doing an exercise. You're already ahead of 95% of the population.
Yeah, I'm too jacked up to be building IKEA furniture anymore. Like my body's jacked, right? So I'm like, let's get the kids to do it. Well, the kids can't figure this out. I'm like, I'm gonna trade you in for a Swede. Like they can probably figure this out.
It's one of those circus monkeys with the thing. You're like, this monkey can build it.
I'm like, I'm gonna go adopt a Swedish kid. They've got IKEA, right? They can figure this out. They created the dang thing.
And they were probably reading the instructions too, huh? All lost in the instructions.
It's like the other day, like yesterday, the griddle. I'm like, they built it. I let them build the griddle.
Yeah.
And I'm like, there's a screw missing. I'm like, where the hell is the screw? I'm like, now my side table's like leaning, and I go and look and go like, oh, they put all of them on backwards. So, and it perfectly made sense how the screw was supposed to go in because there was a place for the table to rotate on. Yeah. But they had like the washer in the wrong place, the nut in the wrong place, the whole thing backwards. I'm like, no wonder why these things are falling off. So I switched them all around, went to Ace, got another one. I'm like, oh, gosh.
Yeah. No, it's different now, but we had to be handier too because we weren't on a bunch of tablets and screens and social networks and all this crap.
So you brought up something before the show started. We were going to talk about this. We don't actually own much of anything anymore, right? Like you used to own your DVDs. You owned your music. Like you had to go buy your music and buy your DVDs, and now it's all a subscription service. Yeah. Our internet went out because our dog decided to chew the cord on a long holiday weekend. So for 3 days we had no internet because the dog chewed up our internet.
Perfect.
Until the people could come out and fix it the next day. And we're like, do we own DVDs? Do we know where the DVD player is? Do we know where the DVDs are? Like, how can we bring entertainment back to the house?
The era of like Blockbusters and going to a place and renting and watching stuff or even buying them used or anything is gone. I mean, even video game stuff's weird like that now. What's that, the Nintendo Switch 2 thing? I was looking at it for the kids. And it's like, oh, you got to do this and that. And if you use anything or buy it used, it won't work. And you just get to be allowed. You purchase the thing, so you're agreeing to use it, and we can shut it off at any time. And you're like, what is going on? And everything's Netflix. And nothing against Netflix and stuff. It is kind of cool. You know, even the, man, what's the thing? It used to be Vudu. It's Fandango now is what it is. And you buy digital stuff and put it on a list. And it's like, yeah, it takes up less space, but I mean, honestly, they can just change the terms and the conditions and cancel stuff out. Or if they lose a license, then something you bought's gone too. It just seems like you're just the product funneling money to things, and you're the only tangible in all the stuff nowadays. There's no cassettes, no CDs. I mean, there's very few people that buy records anymore, I think. Those guys are a little weird in the modern era, too, though. The record collectors, you're like, what? Sounds better on vinyl.
Well, and paywalls on everything.
Yeah.
Right? Paywalls on news sources. Paywalls on, I mean, you can't get anywhere without a paywall. And this idea that, you buy cable television and you have 300 channels and you're only going to watch 30 of them, so you might as well just go buy the ones that you're going to watch the most. That's becoming more expensive than cable in a lot of fashions now.
All the streaming stuff is more expensive than having satellite or cable now. And the whole point to get the streaming stuff is it was cheaper.
Correct.
Originally.
Correct.
And it's weird how they're like all partnered up with like stores and stuff. Walmart Plus, Target Circles, blah, blah, blah.
Well,
something.
What was it? There was a number that if you wanted to watch every NFL game on television this upcoming season, it was going to cost you something like $2,500.
I miss having the movies to watch and then leave a movie in and you fell asleep and it's back at the play menu, the extra features and stuff, and it would just be cycling through that same little music thing, over and over and over. You're like, oh, fell asleep during that movie. DVD player's just playing it in the loop for the entry menu, the play menu. But yeah, you don't really own anything. I think that's kind of the way everything's going. I mean, it's too expensive to buy homes. People don't want to buy homes. They want to rent, so they don't have the responsibility or the taxes or any of the crap or anything to deal with or the repairs. Because if you own anything, it's actually a lot of stress. It is. I get that. Having movies, music, it does take up space. We all know the era of having like a CD thing in your car like this thick. Just like 5 inches thick freaking thing just in there. And you're like, dude. And it's just there, and you got to, like, fumble through it to play another song because you go be driving too long and there ain't no radio stations in a bunch of places.
Remember the Top Gear where they were driving having to organize CD?
Yeah. Yeah, you had that big CD case trying to play music and stuff.
See if I can find this.
No, it's different, and nobody has anything they really hold in their hand except for a damn cell phone. That's about the only, like, tangible thing to have access to non-tangibles.
Well, not only that, we've taken kids off of books, and so even the schools, like, how do you go through school in majority of these districts without access to a computer? You don't.
Yeah.
So then the school district, well, we'll just give every kid a computer. Okay, well then, what about internet? So it becomes this continued reliance on government intervention, and at some point, government will own internet.
I'm going to blame big fiber optic. They just want more fiber optic.
Well, it's not even fiber optic at the present moment.
Oh, it's
right?
not? Is it better than that?
Well, no, it's still sitting. Most of them are still sitting on coax. I mean, most of the fiber optic stuff is brand new in neighborhoods. But at some point, when you make it a requirement for every U.S. citizen to have internet to function, which is where we're getting to.
Yeah, I tried to play like a video game. I was on the Xbox or something with the kids, and it's like, oh, you have connected to the internet and an update and something else and blah, blah, blah. Then you're like, what is going on? I just wanted to see what this game is. I don't even know this stupid game. I don't remember what it was. It might have been a Ghostbuster game or something with the kids, but it's like, you need internet access to play this. And I was like, I don't want to log in on the internet. I just want to sit here and play on the couch with 2-player game like back when, when you played 2 or 4 people on an old game. You can't even do that now. It's all got to be on the interweb.
Well, and try to live 1 month, 30 days, without swiping a credit card or a debit card. And I don't think most Americans could do it. And I don't think that most organizations are set up to even allow you to do it.
I think I could do it, but I don't think I could do it because there's places that don't take cash sometimes too.
Yeah,
they go,
correct.
Oh, you have to slide your card. You're like, dude, I'm paying like a $2 fee or a $1 fee to slide my own card. This is dumb. So,
yeah.
There's a lot
how
of
many places? How many places can you not use cash to park anymore?
So is that why they wanted to let all the people steal and thieve and stuff? So then they're like, oh, we don't carry cash anymore to get away from cash to make you.
Well, in the state of Colorado, you have to accept cash. It's actually in the law.
Yeah, old Jerry Pulley pushed that.
Yes, one of the smart things Polis did.
Things he does. There's like I can think of like probably 3 okay-ish things that Ding Dong done. Old Droopy, old Governor Droopy Dog, dude.
I could probably think of probably about 15 of them because actually, if you remember back 2 years ago, he vetoed all of the union bills. Remember that? The union guys were out front of the state capitol protesting Polis because he vetoed all of their initiatives and all of their legislation. Yeah. And he vetoed a pretty critical social media policing bill just this last session. And they tried to override it and couldn't get the votes to override it in the House and the Senate.
Yeah, but you know what that kind of stuff, he did that because somehow it benefited him.
Oh, 100%.
It's not because he actually
100%.
Every good decision, old Jerry Pulley, old Governor Polis sausage, old Governor Droopy Dog, whatever you want to call him. Man, I'm glad that dude's terming out. Jeez.
That just means he's a smarter businessman than all the other woke liberals.
Well, for a guy that hates the trumpeter so much, he's quite similar, to be honest with you. And he does angle a lot of stuff that benefits him. He's very, very wealthy. And he does a lot of stuff that just benefits him and his business and him and his family and his own.
Yeah, 100%.
But, yeah, the whole not owning any of your entertainment or stuff anymore. I mean, do you remember like VHS tapes? Dude, there'd be shelves filled with a bunch of like VHS tapes. You go to anybody's house, DVDs on racks and shelves. That was almost like bragging in the 90s and early 2000s. Look, I have 3 racks of DVDs. You know? Ooh, whoa. Pick a movie. Watch whatever you want. Now it's all just digital stuff. And you have no control over it. You can't regulate nothing. It's the terms or conditions have adjusted or changed. I don't know. I remember how much fun it was to go to the damn video store. And I mean, that's still when like video stores were still around up into Blu-ray, wasn't it? Yeah. They still had Blu-ray to rent it. Like even the Blockbusters here when we had those last few in Colorado. But that was, 8-10 years ago now? No, 12 years ago was the last one. And wasn't that in Monument? Yeah. So that was our last Blockbuster.
It's an interesting world that we live in, but the one thing that we have back, presidential fitness test.
Little throwback to the past, huh?
Yep. Welcome to Spirits Your Own Service. Join us every day on YouTube and Rumble. God bless.
You want it better, be better.